everyone. Welcome to Glenn's Sports Show, specifically today's soccer sports show. I want to go ahead and introduce myself. This is my very first show in regards to soccer talk. And today I just want to introduce myself. My name is Mr. Glenn Bionea. I'm currently in Anaheim, California. And just off the bat, I want to tell you that I'm a fan of the LA Galaxy. I actually went to their first game in 1996, where Jorge Campos was the goalkeeper and so forth. I was raised here in Anaheim, California, but my parents are from Costa Rica. I actually was born there, but I came here right off as a baby. So I consider myself full American, and my love for soccer usually is cultural, but at the same time, I do have those American tendencies that you feel that soccer is boring, there's not enough scoring, and so forth. But at the same time, it's very passionate and so forth. So that's why today I wanted to talk about why do some Americans do not like soccer, right? Why don't they like soccer? Even though in the past, I would have to say maybe 20 years, soccer has been coming up as a sport. Like I said, in 1996, I went to my first MLS game with my father, and we saw Jorge Campos and the LA Galaxy play and so forth. And ever since then, the MLS has grown by leaps and bounds. But one of the things that I think why Americans haven't embraced soccer as maybe their number one sport is because soccer will never be number one in the sense that the other sports like football or basketball or baseball, which has been here over 100 years, along with the other ones. I think the NBA was in 1948 that it started. And even hockey. Hockey, even though it's primarily Canadian, but we also have a lot of hockey cities here in the US. But even then, one of the things is that soccer is fairly new in the sense that of its popularity. I know that the US in 1950, they had a great World Cup. They beat, I believe it was England. And then they didn't go back to the World Cup until 1990. So it's fairly new in regards to getting into the cultural aspect of it, even though kids play it at a very early age. And we can hear, the good old soccer mom and so forth. So a lot of kids play it. Also, I believe that soccer is now being played in more urban areas. Before it was almost a suburb sport here, right? But why isn't soccer that popular when it comes to comparison with other sports? Well, if you get an athlete, for example, let's say an athlete that grows up to be like Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, right? Larry Bird or someone, right? Those Tom Brady may start playing soccer, but at the age of 12 or 13, they got to choose. Where is my professional career going to be? Correct? Is it baseball? Is it football, basketball? They may like soccer, but they don't see that stardom power of the NFL, right? They don't see that stardom power being a baseball player, New York Yankees, and so forth. It's starting to get better. We see a lot of young athletes now, and especially in the U.S. team, where we have a lot of young athletes, right? Like Poslick, and then some other ones in the U.S. team as well. But that's why I believe that soccer's not that popular, because it lags in history from the other sports we have in the US, baseball, basketball, football, especially. And the other thing is that elite athletes always make a choice. They may like soccer in their early age, but then they go ahead and go to the other popular and more economically powerful sports, at least in the US, because we can see in Europe, people like Messi and Ronaldo, they make hundreds of millions of dollars in endorsements and so forth, and even some more than football players and baseball players. But even still, someone like Alex Rodriguez, which he's retired now, but he made almost $1 billion in just contracts. But that's my take on why soccer is still not a dominant sport. But in my opinion, it doesn't have to be. I think soccer is going in the right direction in the US. More young people are doing it, millennials, the Y generation as well. And I think we're headed into an era of soccer prosperity where everybody will be at least paying attention. They already are, but it'll be in a larger scale, right? So it doesn't have to be number one, doesn't even have to be number two. I know football is a giant, and I know I love basketball. I love my Lakers here in the LA area. But that's my take on it, why soccer isn't as popular as it is would be in the rest of the world. Anyhow, subscribe to my page over here, and please leave some comments and what do you think and so forth. I'll have more videos on more topics, not just soccer and other sports, although soccer is my favorite sport and so forth. All right, until next time, bye-bye. My name is Glenn.